What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime coming back at you with another video, and in today's video, guys, I am here to bring you all my review of Boku Dake ga Inai Machi episode 3. So let's get started. So Boku Dake ga Inai Machi episode 3 brings us the greatness of the series, and man, I just love where this story is going. Like, it's so gripping and it makes you intrigued. I love mystery types of anime, or the genre itself. Mystery genres and any form of entertainment, I'm all for. Like, it makes you ponder on what exactly is going on with the series. And from these past few episodes of Boku Dake ga Inai Machi, it's been phenomenal. It's been a phenomenal start, and this is definitely one of the hidden gems, and I knew it was going to be a hidden gem of the winter season of 2016 for anime. So let's get to the review. So come to find out that in fact Hinazuki is actually being abused by her parents. Now we see that mainly the mother is the one who is doing the forms of physical abuse, and her father, if it is her father, I mean, for all we know, Hinazuki could be adopted or something like that. But what we know so far is that the mother that Hinazuki is with, she is the one causing the physical abuse. And the father just kind of sits back and lets everything happen in the background, doesn't really, pay any attention to it. He completely just ignores the situation. And I mean, that scene, dude, just like that, how that whole scene handled itself, how we see just Satoru just walking to Hinazuki's house just to see if he can, talk to her, and he sees her in that shed just completely on the floor, beaten up. You see the bruises all over her body. That was tough. That was a tough scene to see. And then we see her mother coming in, and she's like, "Come on, Hinazuki, let's go." And she has this whole grin on her face and tells Satoru what exactly went down, and Hinazuki lies about the whole thing, saying that she fell. Obviously, getting all those bruises is not from just falling, There is obviously something more in the mist, and Satoru knew it from the start. And it has been confirmed that now Hinazuki has been officially abused. And just seeing how this whole scene played out, especially once Hinazuki gets back into the house and her mother is dumping her head in water, pouring ice in it just to heal her face up. She is yelling at Hinazuki saying, "Come on, heal, heal, heal," so that way nobody's going to figure out it is me doing all this to you, and oh my god, that scene, it was tough. It really was. It was a really tough scene to look at. So we know who is now the confirmed abusers of Hinazuki. Another great moment of this scene was where we see Satoru and Hinazuki going out to see a Christmas tree, and especially how that whole scene played out where you see the foxes swirling around them, and then when they go out to look up on the tree, just the animation in that scene alone, I mean, throughout the animation in this episode in general was just amazing. It really was. A1 Pictures doing a fantastic job with this series. Please don't let it fall downhill, because right now you are on a very good start to these first 3 episodes of Boku Dake ga Inai Machi. Really loved how that scene played out, because it was something that Hinazuki remembered in her other years, her few years ago when she was littler than she is now. She ended up looking at a Christmas tree from the girl who was picking on her, who ended up picking on her in this episode as well, about the whole lunch money situation. And you know what? You got what you deserve, little girl. You got what you deserve. But anyway, she ended up going to her party, and she saw her Christmas tree, and of course it was for that little girl to show it off to Hinazuki. But Hinazuki actually saw it as something very beautiful. And then we revert to this scene back here where she's looking at the Christmas tree. She really admired what she was looking at, and you can tell by her expression as well, especially when Satoru tells her, maybe I'll take you here again in February or whatever it was. I can't remember what he exactly said, but you know, just from hearing that from Satoru, Hinazuki actually smiled for once, and we have seen her throughout these past few episodes of Boku Dake ga Inai Machi just being completely down in the dumps, and obviously we know why. We know her reasons why she's acting like this, but you know, just to finally see her smile, like, that was awesome. There was another part of this episode as well that was very interesting. We get to see Satoru and Yuki actually, you know, conversing, dialogue to one another. I mean, because we have just known Yuki just from stuff that Satoru has previously mentioned about him. But in this episode, we actually get to see Yuki and Satoru actually conversing with one another. Now, there wasn't really much to go on about when it came to the dialogue that was exchanged there, because Yuki only got like a few minutes of screen time in this episode, but obviously he is going to make a pivotal, he's going to be a major focal point in the coming episodes to come, because I know how Boku Dake ga Inai Machi is going to be. It's not going to just mention a character who, you know, is suspected for the murders of Hinazuki and other children out there and just cast it to the side, you know, because Yuki, from what we see as him, you know, he is someone who doesn't really seem like a murderer, but there are plenty of other murderers out there who don't seem like murderers who actually turn out to be murderers. But I'm going to give you my overall theory on what I actually feel about actually what went down, and it's kind of hinted at in this episode as well. Now, Yuki, from what we know in the past few episodes of Boku Dake ga Inai Machi, was that he was technically framed for the murder. He was put into jail, and even Satoru believes that he didn't commit any murder. So there is the possibility that he was framed. And what I think is that Yuki is in fact not the murderer. And let me tell you why. I think what actually went down and how he ended up in jail was possibly for the accidental murder of Hinazuki. He ended up killing Hinazuki, but it was accidental, okay? And the real perpetrator of Hinazuki's death and several other children out there has to be from that teacher. I'm telling you, it has to be from that teacher. Just the vibes that I got in the second episode where we see him for the first time, and in this episode as well, just the wavelength, man, it doesn't match. It like, there's something about him. There's something about him, especially at the end. At the end of this episode, we see the teacher and Kenya. I think his name is Kenya, one of Satoru's childhood friends. He is actually talking to the teacher as well. So he's another mystery. He's another mystery because in this episode, especially in the last episode that we saw, episode 2, you know, Kenya seems to be one that just kind of observes things. He's kind of like in the background watching Satoru's every move. So I have heard that there are apparently some theories going about there that Kenya actually has the ability to use reversals or revivals just like Satoru, and honestly, I couldn't agree more, because I said in my last review of Boku Dake ga Inai Machi was that someone out there has to have the same ability as Satoru, and in this case, maybe it might be Kenya. We don't know yet. We haven't got clarification on that, but honestly, I can actually see that very possible. So that really about does it further about the review. There's a lot of stuff that you know, that was announced through or just shown through this episode, and it's very interesting to see, and I have a lot of theories right now. If you have seen my other reviews of Boku Dake ga Inai Machi, I have been coming up with theories on the spot. Now, so for my theory, just a quick recap. Basically, we know that Hinazuki is being abused by her parents, in fact. Now, with my theory, Yuki, the only reason why he is involved in the murder case to Hinazuki's death and several other children out there is because he possibly ended up, accidentally ending up murdering Hinazuki. Just accidental, and that's the reason why he was convicted to be the actual murderer behind Hinazuki's death. But in fact, the real murderer behind the other children is the teacher. It has to be the teacher. And then we have it to where Kenya is possibly another revival user. So we have all of that right now as far as theories go. None of that is confirmed except for obviously Hinazuki being abused by her parents, but that is technically where my theories stand right now. So now we just need to wait for the coming episodes to come out, pick up the pieces, and see how these what did I just say? These events ending up unfolding out in the near future. So yeah, really loving this series. I hope you guys are as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you actually think about this series so far, and let me hear your theories. I want to hear your theories. Do you think there's a different murderer who is not in fact the teacher? Do you think Yuki is involved in this somehow? Obviously he is, but do you think he was actually the murderer? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, if you like this video, please give it a like. And if you want to stay updated to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a great day.